All right, Paula Granados, thank you so much for being with me today. So, can you just tell us a little bit about who you are and the company that you work for?
My name is Paola Granados. I work for AnyPromo as their social media coordinator. I do all things social media, and I also participate in um, any kinds of events that are like live. So I'll go there, take pictures. Like yesterday, I went to a Little League baseball opening day, and it was the cutest thing ever. Got lots of pictures. I helped pass out some of the items that we donated. So I'll get involved with stuff like that too. Not technically social media, but it is because I'm taking pictures for social media. But yeah, that's kind of what I do.
Yes, and the reason I reached out to you was because you have been doing some really good things for any promo on TikTok. You've been doing it for a while now. I'm going to say it's probably going on 2 years, if not longer. You've really stood out in this industry as sort of uh, a trendsetter in this platform, and I really wanted to pick your brain today and talk to you about TikTok because I think that it's popular now, and a lot of people in the promotional products industry are starting to take notice. Uh, they should have taken notice a while ago, but I think right now they're all starting to notice it. So let me ask you this: why should my business, my promo business specifically, be on TikTok?
Well, I would say that at this point in time, and maybe even like a year ago, even, uh, everyone is on TikTok. In fact, if you look at the stats, there is the same number of users that were on Instagram. You know, if it made sense to market on Instagram and Facebook, I think it is a given to market on TikTok now because they have over a billion users, people that have signed up for the platform that maybe they don't interact by making content, but they're viewers. And there's niches of all kinds. Yeah, there's even a promotional products niche. You just have to look up the hashtag and you'll kind of see how many people are creating a promotional product niche or custom merch niche. There's just so many little communities that you can start getting into and getting traction into. So, and I think the algorithm of TikTok is built like no other. It's like crazy how specific a video can get, and it arrives to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about that yesterday. Sometimes it's borderline scary. You're like, how do you know that?
Right, right.
But I guess, you know, when it comes to ideas and original thought, you really think like, I guess there's not too much original thought nowadays. But it's all good because at least it gives you access to a community or people that think similarly or having the same kind of conversations that you are. Um, and I think a lot of the content that is on TikTok is now being taken over to Instagram too. So that leakage is almost like, why not just go on the original, make content for the original, and then be able to use that content in all your other platforms. So
Yeah, I love that you brought up that being on the platform doesn't necessarily mean that you're on there for your business.
yes.
There are viewers now. Tons of people are on TikTok and not creating content. They're just viewers.
Hmm.
And I don't know anybody now in 2023 who is not familiar with watching TikTok videos. They're very addictive. Like you mentioned, the algorithm is unlike any other social media platform algorithm. It gets to know who you are through what you like to view, whether or not it's, hey, I stopped and look a little bit longer on this video than I did previous videos. So it basically tells you, or it tells the algorithm that, hey, this is something that this person might be interested in more, and it will start to serve you more of that content. So it's almost like an AI. It's smart. It learns your tendencies and it serves content to you so that you can stay on the platform more. And there is just a wealth of content. So there's the viewer part of it, and then there's the content creation, which is something that you do very well. You create a lot of content for any promo, um, and you've been doing this for quite some time. So, does like what do you try to tap into when you're creating content for any promo? Are you trying to tap into what you do as a business, or is the business aspect of TikTok not important? Are you paying attention more to trends, to what's popular, and creating content based on that?
Yeah, so I think it's a mixed approach when it comes to TikTok. One of the things that we learned early on was that like pushing product directly wasn't working for us. And we noticed that it wasn't working for a lot of people. The way you have to technically push or sell product has to be in a very subtle and almost like secondary way. Um, and there was a lot of experimentation with this with our first social media person that made TikToks, Jonathan. He kind of like set some of the trial and error first so that we were able to see like from his more successful videos, kind of like what gained more traction. So from that initial strategy, if you will, we kind of then started focusing more on our company culture. That was a conversation that we were actively having, and that was some of the videos that were kind of getting into our feed were videos about other companies doing like fun things, right? Especially during like remote time, there was a lot of conversation. There still are a lot of conversations about like you know, different kinds of work arrangements, accommodations, hybrid work, all of those things. So I think a lot of people were making content about like office or work related. Company culture also became like a very hot topic. And it was something that my company had already been having a conversation before I even started. They have a culture committee, which I'm now part of. And we kind of have conversations about policy in our own workplace. We have conversation about events, and that helps kind of like go into social media. And that kind of our first viral video, like that I feel like was the first one was an Easter one. No,
Hmm.
it was a Christmas one. It
Okay,
was a Christmas
Elf on the Shelf, right?
Elf on the Shelf one. Yeah, we were trying to find the Elf on the Shelf. And not only was the Elf on the Shelf kind of like, you know, current with the trend of
Right,
holidays, Elf on the Shelf, but it was also just kind of like a fun activity. I think people liked seeing group of people in an office setting kind of acting like kids again.
right.
The second time it happened, it was around Easter, and it was an Easter egg hunt.
Hmm.
And we had actually lost the golden egg with like the prize, like the big prize money. So you know, part of the video was like asking questions like, oh, is this the golden egg, and kind of like making it interactive. And it was just all around like a funny time. So we started
So,
noticing that trend.
so how many views did you get for your viral videos? I'm just curious.
Uh, for I'd have to look back, but I think for I have the Easter one pinned. I think the Easter one has like 800,000
Okay,
views. About
okay.
the Christmas one, oh man, maybe 300,000,
So
something like that.
So you have a video that almost has a million views. And what you did was you created content that really had nothing to do with the business side of the
Yes.
company. You took the culture of the company, you paired it with something that's trending at a time when you have Christmas or you have Easter egg hunts, a lot of content for that during those times. And did you pair it with any sounds that were trending at the time as well?
Um, yeah, actually, we did. We paired it with like trending music or trending sounds. Um, but because we saw that this gained traction, we decided to move into the like company culture niche.
Hmm.
Because we also find that it lends itself very well to our own what the products that we sold, right? Like we sell personalized items that can be used for companies and company culture that can kind of like go hand in hand. So again, the product side is like the secondary, but I
Sure.
think the company culture side is what really grabs people. And then if they see that that the products are helping the culture, I think that will be like a natural byproduct of like, okay, like, you know, maybe we should think about ordering some cool merch or some customized products for our own company so that we can emulate this kind of energy that we're seeing.
Sure.
So again, taking that kind of like influencer role of like, we're office that has fun or does these fun things, we use these items to help us, and in that way it kind of works with for like just influencers that are influencing individuals, right? They have products that they don't necessarily push, but they're in the background or they use them every day and people naturally flock to them, you know.
So it's more of a softer sell. So you're using your product in the video,
Hmm.
but what you're really trying to do is you're showing off your culture. You're entertaining. You're providing value in that aspect because a lot of people are on TikTok to have fun. They're not there for business. But your your product makes it into some of this content because that is what you do as a business, and you can
Hmm.
provide value in that respect. Now, let me ask you about audience. Does it matter if your audience is on the platform?
Um, at this point, I think everyone's audience is on the platform in one way or another. Like, for instance, although we're a company that caters to different kinds of clients or audiences, right? I think a big part of our audience are our companies, right? So because that is maybe a target audience group that we want to cater to, we know that they're there, right? They're either making content about companies or they have a company page. There's a lot of company pages on TikTok. There's one called, what's it called? Middleton Myers. They haven't made content in a little while, but they were really big. Like in 2022 and 2021, like during the pandemic, they were doing a lot of like fun, you know, fun interactive content for their business. You know, getting people on TikTok to design a new logo for them. So there's a lot of companies like that that have company pages that interact as an entity, right? Not
Sure.
as an individual. So that is part of our audience that we see like, hey,
Hmm.
you know, we want to interact with these kind of businesses. We want to interact with these kind of this kind of audience. But again, that's not the full breadth of our audience, right? Technically, we could also target schools and we can target
Hmm.
you know, we can target just a number of, you know, trade show people, all that stuff. But we decided to, because there's already this niche, there's already this community that's pretty big and pretty loud on TikTok, that, and because we can interact with it as a, you know, we're also a company that also focuses
Hmm.
on culture, it just seemed like the best fit for us to kind of tackle that niche because we
Right.
are that niche. Yeah.
Right. And I think you mentioned this earlier about sharing content outside of the platform. And you see TikToks reshared on Instagram, you see them on Facebook, you see them on Twitter, you see them on LinkedIn. The content itself can be easily shared from TikTok. If you're afraid that your audience is not on TikTok, you can still create content on TikTok and then share it to other platforms, correct?
Correct. Yeah. It's super easy to do. The only thing I would be considerate of is that the longer, if you make a really long TikTok,
Mm,
which I don't think works for TikTok anyways, sometimes you can't post it onto Instagram as easily because you want them to be Instagram reels.
right.
And if they're going to be Instagram reels, they have to be like a little over a minute. Like that's the max that they can be.
Sure.
So you just have to be considerate that your TikToks that you're putting onto all the other platforms. I think Twitter can't be over 2 minutes too.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep your TikToks short and sweet, which is what TikTok likes anyways. And then you
Right.
can easily share them on almost all your other platforms. We do that. We've actually started to segment some of our TikToks. So like the more preachy business ones where we're actually giving advice or something, we'll put those on LinkedIn rather than the
Sure.
fun ones. Um, and like, you know, Instagram will just get most of the same ones. But yeah, there's a little bit of segmentation that you can do. Like,
Sure.
okay, this one is probably better for a professional audience.
Right.
This is better for entertainment, just to get
Hmm.
more traction, get more conversation, more eyeballs, right?
Right. So I
Um,
think it's important for the audience to know that TikTok, even if you don't feel like your audience is there, is still a great place to create content and then share it to other platforms. Because, as you mentioned earlier, the algorithm is unmatched. I agree with that. But also, the studio is really, really good. And you can't create the same type of content in, say, Reels as you can in TikTok. TikTok just blows Reels away. It's superior. There's so much that you can do. Now you have to figure it out. It's not as user friendly as you would think. You have to go in and you have to figure it out. But once you have your finger on, the tech of TikTok, you'll be able to create content pretty quickly.
Yeah, I totally agree. The way that you can stitch a video to interact with one, you can duet so that you can kind of give a blind react or have a two-face kind of window between another content creator and your own. Um, there's so many creative ways to use those features, and I think the app itself pushes you to use like the newer features. Obviously, there's a multitude of filters and games even. So there's just a lot of ways to interact on TikTok and make different kinds of videos and just kind of experiment with it. So yeah, I totally agree. The studio to make the videos, I used to try to do them on the laptop, but honestly, I just do it on my phone. It takes me a couple of minutes, unless it's a lot of videos, and it'll take
Right.
me a couple
Right.
hours. But it's pretty user friendly and it's simple, but it gets the job done.
Yep. All right, Paula. So, what kind of investment in time and resources are we looking at to having a TikTok presence?
Um, I think that I think consistency is pretty key. And if you're still trying to find like what your voice is or what your audience is on TikTok, you might want to, at least for a month, invest a good chunk of time in making a good deal of content, like batch content. One of the challenges, so I when before we were having this conversation, you said that like I had kind of like stopped making TikToks for a couple of weeks during like Christmas and stuff. I think you kind of get sometimes burnt out with the trial and error process. So I did take a break, but my manager challenged me to do a five video a week. Sorry,
Mhm.
5 video a week. Sorry, a day.
Oh, wow, a day?
A day challenge. So I did my best to do the 5 videos a day for a whole, I think almost 2 months. And
Ooh.
yeah, so it was a pretty, yeah, maybe like a month and a half, 2 months, something like that. I'm still trying to keep up with that, but that is a large number. Um, but from what the outcome has been, we now have a video that has like 4.2 million views.
Wow.
So, I don't know if this is just like an algorithm thing. There's some, TikTok influencers or, gurus, if you will, that say that the algorithm get like what's it called? It incentivizes or it rewards consistency. So that might have been a factor if that's true, if the algorithm really does reward consistency. We were also very playful with the videos that went viral in like the recent weeks. It was about like sending our project manager to Hawaii. So those were the videos that recently, it was the first one that went viral, which right now sits at 300,000 views.
Hmm.
That one was on Valentine's Day. So ever
Okay.
since Valentine's Day, we've made these little videos that about our project manager trying to get remote work. So
Sure.
again, the topic is about something that interests our niche, right? Our company culture niche, right? People that are in the corporate space, corporate activism. Um, but it's doing it in a fun way. We also used our own products. We had some of our partners send us like a custom umbrella, a shirt, like little things like that that
Sure.
we can
Sure.
kind of keep the momentum going. But yeah,
Okay.
that was a really good win for us because we were able to predict and replicate a couple of viral videos in that like same.
Okay. So when you say consistency, like
Mhm.
when I hear consistency, I think if I'm producing one video a week and I stick with that,
Yeah.
that's consistency. But from what I'm hearing from you, it's almost like you're saying the more content you produce, the better the algorithm favors you. Is that true?
I want to say that it's been true in our experience,
Sure.
at least in the past couple of weeks, because we had like more viral videos happen in the past, but I wasn't doing this 5 video a week thing. But once I did, then we were, I guess, then we had this video take off that was unforeseen, right? Our
Hmm.
the videos that we were making, even at that 5 video a week a day challenge thing, weren't getting a lot of views.
Mm,
So again, it's like a puzzle with the algorithm. A lot
sure.
of people say that it works, and a lot of people say that it's just the value of the content being good.
Hmm.
Um, Honestly, I don't think it's you lose nothing by trying it. You
Right.
know, if you really
Right.
hate these videos afterwards, just delete them, or you can just make them private. Some people say that
Right.
deleting the video isn't the best approach, but during that time where you make a good like 5 videos a day, you can kind of get a feel for the voice. You can kind of get a feel
Hmm.
for different topics. It's just really a trial and error, kind of a big
Right.
time for you to explore different kind of hooks and openings and stuff like that.
Right. I think 5 videos a day is certainly ambitious for, especially for a lot of companies in the promotional products industry. But certainly 5 videos a week, doing one a day, like you mentioned, they could be really quick
Yeah.
videos on office culture, something entertaining, jump on a trend. Like right now, what's trending? The Oscars are trending. There's a lot of content on TikTok related to the Oscars. You're going to find so much in your feeds that you can jump on trend wise, whether or not it's a video trend, whether or not it's an audio trend. There's a lot of audio that trends. There's songs that trend. I mean, I think of Kate Bush's "Running Up That Hill" last year, the song that brought back a 40-year-old song back to number one,
Mm-hmm.
just because of two factors. It was Stranger Things season four that got that song popular again, and also TikTok, people using that song to to create content, and the algorithms favor uh, these types of music clips. And if you use them and you create a piece of content, no matter what you create, it can go viral. And that, I think, is an important aspect of creating content. Be mindful of trends, be mindful of anything that's going on in popular culture. Check out your For You page, see what you're getting a lot of content of, and kind of jump on those trends. But it takes a little bit of, like you said, you're a veteran at this. You've been doing this a long time, and you've had a lot of trial and error, and you know what works, you know what doesn't work. But again, out of the blue, you can get something that goes viral where you're like, wow. You scratch your head,
Mm-hmm.
how did that go viral? Don't question it. You went viral. It's a good thing. But again, sometimes it's just luck.
Yeah. Another thing that I'd bring up on the viral thing is one of the ways that we were able to sustain that energy is just by being very interactive and letting the audience kind of help guide the story. For instance, the video that went very viral with 4 million views. We looked at some of the comments and we looked at what people were saying, and we then made videos to like a follow-up video. We answered questions,
Mm,
and those videos did like 10,000, and those videos still got a good amount of views.
right.
So by allowing the viewers to kind of help tell the story and help make decisions, again, making it interactive, the story, like some people made a hashtag for us. Like we didn't come up with the hashtag at all.
Wow.
The Hawaii Needs Daniel thing was made by somebody that just came up with it for us, or
Right.
Team Daniel. People suggested us to have certain kinds of decorations. People suggested dress up in Hawaiian wear and support him that way. Uh, there's just different little things that we were like, oh, that's a great idea. And so we
Right.
did it, and we received like good traction from that too. I think there's a little bit of videos kind of gained the traction of that million view video, like maybe 300K views and 800K views, something like that. Um, you know, it was just like a fun thing that we were doing. I don't know if we're actually getting him to Hawaii, but it was really fun to kind of experiment and see the way that if we interact with the
Sure.
audience, let them take part of the story, right?
Hmm.
Help them make decisions, answer their questions, tag
Yep.
them in the follow ups. All of those little things that, help you be interactive is helpful for, I think the algorithm kind of rewards that in a way.
So that is well beyond anything that we've ever experienced at ASL. We've never had a video go viral per se. I mean, virality is really kind of perspective. If you got
Yeah.
1,500 views, could be viral for a company that normally gets 50 views.
Mhm.
But certainly when you get something in 4 million uh, range, you're going to get tons of interaction. You're going to get a lot of comments. You're going to get so much that you can play off of. You can, create reaction videos. It's going to open up the door for your business. If anything, it's going to give your business, brand awareness. People are going to know who you are. Hopefully, it's
Mhm.
good content and it's not showing you in a negative light. Um, but yeah, so that's a nice problem to have when you when you go viral. I have no idea what that's like. Looking forward to maybe having a viral video at some point based on this advice. Now, Paul, I have one more question for you.
Mhm.
Do you have any fear of TikTok being banned?
Fear of TikTok being banned. Oh, actually, my project manager brought this up a little while ago. Um, I personally don't have a big fear of it being banned. I feel like I think it was banned for government workers on government devices. That makes sense to me in a way. Uh, for businesses, especially people that are like dealing with international relations, I don't feel like it makes too much sense, but if it happens, we'll kind of roll with the punches. I don't
Sure.
think that, TikTok's going to be inaccessible, right?
Hmm.
And I think we still need to see a little bit more data on why it's happening, because then I think people are going to put up a big fight. I mean, people have built like empires, big followings on
Right.
TikTok. If you take away TikTok, you're, handicapping their business in a way, right? You could say, like, oh, well, they could just transfer all their videos. They can, and some of them will, but like, how much time are you going to give them to do that? Because to transfer all the videos to a different place or to a different platform or whatever, that takes time. And
Hmm.
also to grow the following that you did
Right.
in one platform, that takes time too. Not saying it's impossible, but if they were to ban it completely for all businesses, then we still have our other pages, which is great, but they're gonna have to make a very strong case for why they're doing
Right.
that to
Right.
the general public.
I agree. I don't think it's going to be banned. I know that it's kind of moved its way um, up the legal process. I think it's one step closer. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, you mentioned there's a lot of people on the platform making a lot of money, and I think that it's just. Oh, and your dogs have joined us in
She
our
has
in the
very
conversation.
strong opinions.
Yes, yes, your dog is like, nope, no, no banning TikTok. But yeah, I mean, they'd have to make a really strong case, um, and I think some people would say that they do have a strong case, but until it goes through, I don't believe that it's going to be banned. What's your dog's name?
Her name is Roxy. I don't even know what she's barking at. She's barking at thin air. What are you
Well, that's what
barking
my
at?
dog barks at.
Yeah.
He's best at barking at nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't worry about it.
It's all
Adding
good.
to the soundtrack of our lives here.
Mm-hmm.
But Paula, thank you so much for your time, and tell Roxy we appreciate her input
We do,
in the
yeah.
conversation. um, but how can anyone reach you if they would like?
Well, I'm always available if you DM the Any Promo social page. I also can be reached via email at paula@anypromo.com. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I hope this conversation has been helpful.
Yeah,
Sorry for the little disruption, but just to
it's all
recap
good.
on that, yeah, I don't think it'll be banned, and if it does, I hope there's a lot of good evidence and information so that the public doesn't feel like they were just taken
Sure, sure.
away from something. But yeah, if it happens, we'll roll with the punches, and we'll probably be okay. We'll figure out the next algorithm.
All right. Well, thank you so much again for your time today, Paula.